Now to this, everybody. While President Trump says North Korea will be fine with its arsenal of 50-plus nukes, he still says that's a red line when it comes to Iran.
Look, it's very simple. They have to get rid of no nuclear weapons. Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. You know why? Because they'd use it. And we're not going to let them use it.
And he's threatening a so-called economic D-Day for any country, giving Iran a lifeline, from oil smuggling to cash transfers and front companies. The president didn't name any names, but said, you know who you are. For more, let me bring in retired Army Brigadier General Shawn Harris. General, it's always good to have you. Who do you think the president was threatening there alongside Iran?
Well, I tell you, the president, he does a lot of talking. I cannot speculate to say exactly who he was talking to, but I will say this. North Korea is just like Iran. They should not have a nuclear weapon, and they will use it. May not against us, but they will use it against others in that particular region.
Yeah, and what do you make, what's the calculus there? Trump says Iran can't have a nuclear weapon, but he seems fine with North Korea having, dozens of them. What's that thinking?
I think with the president, if he has a personal relationship with a particular leader and at his level the relationship is good, then he believes the relationship is good with our country. The bottom line is this: North Korea's leader is just no different than the Iranians. He should not have a nuclear weapon, and we should be doing everything that we can to ensure that we keep him under control with the exercises that we're supposed to be doing with South Korea, because at the end of the day, these are tried and true situations that we have all the intelligence on. And at this point, the president, he needs to listen to his leadership and listen to his intelligence team, because they're telling him the truth when it comes to North Korea.
And we'll see if that meeting comes to fruition sometime this fall. I know he's talking to his aides about that. We've also been waiting for this sanctions package to come out this week as well against Iran. Numerous administrations have sanctioned Iran to kingdom come, General. So what can the president do differently that could actually lead to a breakthrough?
He's tried a little bit of everything. And the reality of it is that is the issue in itself. We still doesn't look like we have a clear policy of way that we are looking to fight this particular war. One day we bomb it, the next day we stop, the next day we're trying to use economics, and here we are, we're back to economics again. But currently right now, I believe that the president, his team, all the leadership need to come in and say, okay, let's sit down, discuss, and look at exactly where we are with Iran, and then what is the true way forward, because right now we can either pack it up and come home and say, okay, we lost this war, or we can actually say we're going to leave it status quo like we currently are and there's no talks going on, or we can say that we're all in. And when I say all in, we can actually bomb it and actually put boots on the ground. But all of those decisions are ultimately the President of the United States' decision.
And when you look at the Iranian economy right now, inflation there is reportedly nearly 88%, with prices rising even higher for food and beverages. My team and I were talking this morning, sir. If inflation were 88% here, there'd be riots in the streets. If Iran's economy is already this bad, what more can President Trump actually do to make the regime buckle?
And you're exactly right, Marky. When you look at some of these countries, when we look at any country, you can't look through the lens of a democracy like the United States. You're right. If it was 88% here in the United States, it would be all kind of protests. But Iran is not a democracy. The people cannot rise up, and if they do rise up, they will not be living anymore. So the reality of it is we can put the pressure on them. That thing can go up to 98%, and I don't think you're going to see where the people are going to rise up. It's completely different, and that's why you have to make sure that you have all the experts on that particular region to come and get a president some advice, because right now we're a little bit all over the spectrum on our thoughts of what we're trying to do.
Well, we're all watching and waiting to see what happens next. General Shawn Harris, I got to end it there for this hour, but thank you, sir, and I'll check back in.
Thank you.